Hi everyone, in today's video we're going to be looking at the warehouse analysis tool. Our warehouse analysis tool has a couple of subsections being ArcAI, warehouse configuration and manual forecasting sheet. Let's start with the ArcAI, which is the engine room. So what ArcAI does is it does a complete analysis of everything that you produce and everything that you procure. So what it's doing is it's going looking through everything that we've made, our history of making it, how long it's taken, what it's made up of, and really trying to understand what that looks like historically to then forecast ahead and understand what we need to build in the future. On the purchasing side, it will look at everything that we've purchased, what increments we've purchased it in, how long it took to get here, who are the best suppliers, and then it's creating a list of things that we need to procure. So this table will generally take a little while to load, and you can understand why. We're looking at every single line item that makes up your bills of materials, that makes up the things that you're procuring, and we are doing a full analysis as if we are your own data engineer inside your company. And this is really powerful because traditionally what you would do is have a data scientist go and look at all this historical data and then forecast out what you need to procure or make. Now with ArcAI, we do some of that heavy lifting for you. So there's a lot of information here and we'll go through it slowly. Looking at the table, at the top here, I can first see that there are buy and make columns. Buy are things that we need to procure, that we're going to be doing an analysis on. Make would be things that we need to build and be a part of our production environment. In the table itself, you've got the code, version, what type it is, the unit of measure, the total stock quantity you currently have. You have actual outgoing. So these are things that have actually been purchased or they are moving out of your warehouse. So they are locked in. We know for a fact that that is happening. Expected outgoing is our estimation of what should be outgoing. So it's looking at, let's say that we're on the 2nd of the month, and so far we've transferred out 3 items. But our expected outgoing for that month is 30 items. This is what the expected is. It's the forecast. We have manual forecast, where we'll see in our other section under manual forecasting where we can input data to account for things like black swan events or large unexpected changes in stock movement or in manufacturing. You have actual incoming, and this is the amount that is currently set to come into your manufacturing facility. So this could be things that you've purchased and they're still in transit on the way here, for example. You have your expected incoming stock quantity, and this is an estimation of what is expected to be incoming. You have your minimum stock quantity, which is a current minimum set before the reorder level is hit. Your maximum stock quantity, which is of course your maximum level that you're willing to hold. You have your reorder level, and you have your days to reorder. So days to reorder tells me in how many days I need to reorder this item. So this will account for situations such as how long does it take for the supplier to deliver this item, or how quickly can I get this item into my shop. Then you have the reorder ETA, so this is the estimated time of arrival. And finally, you have the required quantity. So using this information, what we essentially want to look at is mainly days to reorder and reorder ETA. Our days to reorder tells us how soon we need to actually order this. So for things that are not days, we're now aware that maybe this is something that we should have already ordered. Something that, for example, that's 500 plus days tells me it is so far in the future that I really don't have to worry about it now. So we are most likely overstocked of these items. 26 days tells me that I need to order this in the next 26 days to continue operation as normal. What will also happen is you will start to see that ArcAI starts to suggest what your reorder level should be and what your minimum stock amount should be. So the system will intelligently learn over time what these levels should be and allow you to make edits to them. Let's say that we decide that we want to order these 3 items. They all need to be ordered within the next 14 days, but we say, you know what, we're going to order them ahead of time. All I do is click to the top right, say that I want to start the process of ordering. Here I can set how many I want to order. My suggestion is that I need to order 10, so I'm going to go ahead and do so. So let's say it's 10 of those, 10 of these, and 10 of these. And I click confirm. The system has now gone ahead and created an order plan to order those components. Here I see the demarcation of ArcAI, which tells me that this order plan was built using ArcAI. And just like that, we've allowed our procurement team to quickly and intelligently order preemptively for our production and for the fact that our business will continue to operate as we expect. Let's go back to ArcAI quickly. How does it work on the make side? Well, what happens on the make side is that we have the same process, but now we're monitoring things like sales orders, customer requests, and we are understanding what does it look like to the items that we are producing for our business. So we're running the same computation now, but we're also trying to understand what does our current capacity look like, what does our ability to manufacture look like, and how well can we continue to operate at the level that will meet our production goals. So the system is running this at the moment. And what you'll notice while we wait is that the code, version, and type are still here, your unit of measure is still here, your total current stock quantity, your actual outgoing, which is the measure of the actual amount that has been sold so far, your expected outgoing, which is your forecast of your outgoing stock, your manual forecast, which is the change that you've added manually, your actual incoming, which is how many are being produced currently, and your expected incoming, which is how many are expected to be produced. You've then got your minimum stock levels, max stock levels, and your remake level when you need to start remaking them. Then you've got your days to hit remake level. This function's the same. It's in how many days should I start to produce this. So you can see that the buy one is more aimed at your procurement team, the make one is more aimed at your production team. So as a production manager, I might come in here and say, okay, I can see a couple that are less than 20 days, some that are 0 days. Let's go ahead and make the ones that are less than 20 days. I can just see off the bat here. So it's going to be this one here and this one here. And for this one, I am going to need to make 12. And for this one here, I'm going to need to make 3. I click confirm. And just like that, the system starts to build out a production scenario. So what it's doing now is it's checking all of the underlying raw materials that make up the final products that we're going to be producing. So you've gone from allowing the system to do a forecast of what you need to make. It's done a forecast, you've selected what you want to build from the forecast, and now you're going ahead and saying, okay, if I did want to build these, what are the raw materials that I'm short? What are my shortfalls in terms of things I just don't have right now, and how long are they going to take to get here? So the system will run this computation for you, and you'll be greeted with this screen. At the top here, you'll be able to see the total required quantities. You can drop these down to start to see the bill of materials and what you're missing within each. You get required materials in an all section, and then you also get a shortfall section, which shows me just the items that I'm short of currently. So it's updating that list now. What I get here is I get an estimated shortfall material cost, including minimum and excluding minimum. Including minimum means that we are including the fact that we need to hit our minimum. So if we purchase, say we need 2, we have 0, but our minimum level is 1, it means we need to order 3 if we include our minimum. Excluding minimum means we would just order the 2 that we need to make it, but once we've made it, we would be back below our minimum. So here we can see these two are the same. And what we could do is we could create a production plan directly from here. If we did so, we could give it a production plan number, which we can change. We can say if it's flexible or fixed. Do we have a flexible delivery date or a fixed delivery date? We can schedule the date that it starts, if it starts today, and the delivery date. So let's say we're going to deliver it by the 31st. Then you get 3 options. Don't create the order plan, which means that we're not going to go and do the underlying fulfillment. We're going to leave our procurement team to do it. We could create the order plan excluding the minimum, as we discussed, or create the order plan including the minimum. So your manufacturing team can actually help your procurement team in telling them what you need to successfully produce what you're going to make. We're not going to create an order plan because we're going to let our procurement team do it separately. So we're just going to go ahead and create the production plan. And there it is. We've gone ahead, created a production plan. We can see it here at the bottom. It's got the ArcAI indicator. We can see it's 0% done. And just like that, our production team has managed to actually produce preemptively using the forecasting tool. Inside warehouse analysis, there are a couple of other sections. You've got warehouse configuration and manual forecasting sheet. In warehouse configuration, you have a breakdown of products, assemblies, and items. And what you can do here is you can actually start to configure what your minimum stock quantities are. So for example, if I drop down this top one, I can see that this one has a can make, which means we actually can build it. You can't buy it, which means we can't go ahead and purchase it elsewhere. It can sell, which means it's sellable, and its total minimum stock quantity is 0. But what we can do is we can set minimum quantities and buffer quantities across our different warehouses. So for example, we could say that the minimum quantity is 1 here and 2 here. Click save, and going forward, the system will now know that these are the minimum quantities we require at each of these locations for this particular product. So then when you are in the ArcAI section, you will actually see that there's a shortfall when you drop below those levels, and you will be required to make them. The same applies for assemblies and for items. And what you can do is you can download an Excel sheet and do this as a bulk configuration. So you can do it in Excel, upload it, and the system will update all of your items. Finally, the manual forecasting sheet. So what is manual forecasting? Manual forecasting essentially allows you to input data that the system would not be able to preemptively know. So things like black swan events. You traditionally sell 5 of this product every month. But there comes a month where you get a black swan order, and this is 500. The system can't preemptively know that there are 500 coming down the line. So by updating your manual forecasting sheet, what you do is you allow the system to know that there is going to be a large sale coming down the line. So for example, this inverter here, the monthly average sales is 1 unit, and the system expects that using its forecasting method. But let's say in September we're going to sell 25. That is a 2,500% increase in our traditional amount of sales. By saving this, what I'm telling the system is that it needs to consider that when it is doing the forecasting around September. So this is a really powerful tool in allowing your ArcAI to become more intelligent. And the better you update this, the better it will function. So you should view ArcAI as almost like having a little data scientist who's running a Power BI script all the time on your behalf to make sure you know what you need to produce. And the more information you feed it, the better it will be, and the more likelihood you'll have more accurate production and purchasing ability. There you can see it's been updated. So that's just a brief intro into the warehouse analysis tool. And this is very comprehensive and very deep. So spend some time here and understand how this can be used to really speed up your procurement teams and speed up your production teams. Thank you for watching this video.